Zoe Quinn is back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase, and our narcissistic, grifting friend Zoe Quinn is at it again. Everything is about her. Okay? If you don't know who Zoe Quinn is, quick recap. I made several videos on her before in the past. I'll link them down in the description, and I'll have some title cards come up here. Short story shorter, she's not a very good person, okay? She's just not. And one of the things that happened recently was her ex-boyfriend, Alec Hooka, who unfortunately took his life. And she did it, man. Okay? In my opinion, she's the one that ended his life. She basically, it was about last year, it was the height, or I don't know if it was the height, but it was definitely Me Too movement was really picking up steam. And Zoe Quinn wanted to chase some of that attention, and she posted this huge long thread detailing all of these horrible implications about Alec Hooka. And at the time, we have learned that Alec Hooka, although he has suffered himself from mental illness, he was actually in a really good place, and he was making a really good recovery. And this barrage of allegations sent him over the edge, and he lost his job. He lost a lot of friends, and eventually, literally a couple days after that, he took his own life. And even in that moment, Zoe Quinn made it about her. Because that's what she does. She makes everything about her. Even Mario, okay? Mario, when I think it was Paper Mario Splash came out, they made a reference to the Watergate scandal in the game. And Zoe Quinn swore up and down that it was about her. That reference was about her. Nintendo, the actual company, had to make a statement saying, no, honey, it was about Watergate in the 70s. You know, Richard Nixon. It wasn't about you at all. We don't even know who you are. Okay? Zoe Quinn has even come out and said that the song by Carly Simon, You're So Vain, is actually about her.
You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. You're so vain.
Years before she was born, Carly Simon was talking about Zoe Quinn, okay? This brings us up to this moment a couple days ago, where once again, a new hot talk of the town, the world documentary on Netflix, Tiger King. If you haven't seen it, you know somebody who has. That documentary is about Zoe Quinn. If you didn't know that before, you know it now, okay? But let's pull up her Twitter. I didn't see this because she has me blocked on Twitter, so I have to get off and be just not logged in to go and see. Sometimes I go check on my favorite grifter to see what she's up to, see what she's saying, and lo and behold, she has posted a nice, good thread about the Tiger King. Let's check it out. She starts off, seeing people react to Tiger King by fawning over Joe Exotic and hollering about how Carol Baskin definitely killed her husband makes me deeply uncomfortable with the dog. As someone who had a rogues gallery of messed up dudes try to get me killed for years too. So, okay, if you have not seen Tiger King, here's the gist. Everyone in the documentary is absolute Looney Tunes nobody is painted in a good light, except for like a few like of the workers at Joe Exotic's zoo. A few of the workers, they seem like decent people, I guess. But none of the main characters are, they're all just Looney Tunes. One is like, is basically Scarface. One is running a sex cult. And Carol Baskins is a murdering, is this murdering psycho weird lady. And then you got Joe Exotic, who is just this flamboyantly just, I don't even know how to describe it. He's just a weird guy. And Zoe Quinn, unironically identifies with Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin. Okay? The only person in the documentary who probably killed somebody. That's who Zoe Quinn, that's who she aligns with. Okay? You can't make this up. Okay, I'm not here to cape for anyone involved, and I don't care to. But the doc barely focused on actual animal abuse and cruelty occurring in favor of making Joe and company an amusing spectacle to a degree where the horrible stuff he did barely seems to matter to viewers. You're exactly right. Good for you. That's exactly the point of the documentary. The point of the documentary was, it's not about the animal zoos or the petting of the cubs or whatever. The point of the documentary is showcasing this absolute lunacy in this Looney Tunes show that's happening in our backyard. That's what it is. The filmmaker, the documentary maker who made this, actually started out this as a documentary on reptiles. And literally what happened was Joe Exotic happened to pass by while he was talking to someone, and he was like, who was that? And the guy's like, that's Joe Exotic. And the rest is history. That is what the documentary is about. It's not about the tigers. It's not about any of the animals. It is about Joe Exotic and everybody else that's all crazy. Then it spends an inordinate amount of time trying to sensationalize Carol as suspicious in her husband's disappearance. Exactly. Because there's tons and tons. This ain't a review on Tiger King, so I'm not going to get into the details of that. But there is so much circumstantial evidence that points to, hey, she probably, more than likely, fed her husband her ex-husband to a tiger. That's more than likely what happened. That's more than likely how his life ended. Yeah, and then basically, by virtue of that happening, she got all of his money. And that's the person that Zoe Quinn identifies with. Okay? Just to make that clear. And so she goes on to say, and a bunch of crap dudes who openly admit they hate women and her multiple times and have a grudge against her say she must have done it. Okay, nobody in the documentary talks about how they hate women. The only woman they ever say they hate, and it's pretty much unanimous, is Carol Baskin. That's the only one. Who is it?
Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin. I consider that bitch to be one of the biggest terrorists in the exotic animal world.
That's right. That's the only one. Okay, and then she says, yeah, and then other people also. But the memes are all about how she did it. Yeah, those are a lot of the memes. Guess what else are a lot of the memes? Joe Exotic and some of his employees and the sex cult leader down in Florida. They're about everyone, okay? You're straw manning and you're picking and choosing the points you want to make. Okay, and Joe's a kooky guy and not an animal murderer. And my ass is sitting here thinking, wow, a lot of this sure does feel familiar. Why? You are the only person I've ever heard say that. And I know quite a few people who've seen the documentary, and not one person has ever said, hey, this kind of reminds me of me. It feels very familiar. Nobody is saying that. You know why? Because you know why? You know why you're saying that? You know why it feels familiar? Because trash recognizes trash, Zoe. I know that's a harsh statement, but that's what it is. Again, I'm not here to defend anyone in the documentary, but the public reaction makes me glad no one made a documentary about any of the attention-seeking clown shoe guys who made up conspiracies about me and wanted to get me killed. Oh, you lying, narcissistic, grifting. Oh, woman. Okay. You are. Oh. You're telling me you wouldn't want a documentary about you. You are lying. You literally wrote a book about your experience with Gamergate and how everybody was against you and how it was so misogynistic and you were ridiculed and harassed and everything. You made a book detailing it. You don't tell me you wouldn't want a documentary about it. You would love a documentary about you and all about your tribulation you gotta say trials before tribulation. I was gonna say tribulations and trials, and all about your trials and tribulations. Here's a question for you, Zoe. It's kind of off topic. You know all that money that you were given on your Kickstarter to make a game? Is that ever gonna happen, or did you just take the money and run? Maybe that's what you did. I think Bernie Sanders took a page out of your book because that's kind of what he's doing right now. Anyways, guys, that's the video. If you like this video, please go down and like it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. And if you didn't like it, tell me why. Tell me why. Chase, you have no idea the amount of threats and harassment that Zoe Quinn goes through every day. You are minimizing her experience. If that's how you feel, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. We can chat about it. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. And as always, peace out. Zoe Quinn has actually come out and said... I can't do this joke. Oh, man. Okay. Zoe Quinn has even come out and said that the song by Carly... Oh, it's not even that funny, but oh, okay. All right. Zoe Quinn has even come out and said that the song by Carly Simon, You're So Vain, is actually about her.